Joining me now is Congressman Eric Swalwell of California, who was an impeachment manager earlier this year and is a member of the House Intelligence Committee. Congressman Swalwell, great to see you again. Thanks for coming to the ReidOut.
Of course. Thank you, Jonathan.
Before we begin our discussion, I want to remind the American people of what Kevin McCarthy had to say in the days after the insurrection. Have a listen.
The president bears responsibility for Wednesday's attack on Congress by mob rioters. He should have immediately denounced the mob when he saw what was unfolding. These facts require immediate action by President Trump. Accept his share of responsibility.
So, Congressman Swalwell, what happened to that guy?
He is treading water in Donald Trump's ocean and purely interested in himself, not the sake of the country. You know, Jonathan, democracy nearly died on January 6th, and this has to be a serious investigation. And Kevin McCarthy has shown he's not serious about January 6th. That's why he would put the guys holding the gas cans in charge of an arson investigation, you know, Banks and Jordan. And I think the speaker showed today that if we're going to make sure that we understand how this happened, what Donald Trump's role was, why the Capitol wasn't better protected, and make sure that it never happens again when we have to certify elections in the future, we need a serious approach. And Kevin McCarthy is just not up for that job.
But Congressman Swalwell, I mean, I agree with you, and I think the American people agree with you that there needs to be a serious investigation. But can there be a serious investigation if there aren't more Republicans on that committee, more Republicans other than Congresswoman Liz Cheney?
Yes, there will be. This investigation will animate what happened that day next week with the police officers who were there to provide, first and foremost, Jonathan, that ground truth that Republicans are trying to erase every day. But take a step back and ask yourself what Republicans can be serious about it, because this is a party that is sympathizing with the cop killers. They are voting against Capitol Police funding. They are voting against awarding the gold medal to the Capitol Police officers. They continue to say that the police, like the FBI, were responsible for what happened. And now, today, they're walking away from the police in this investigation. So we can't wait for them. Our country can't wait for them. This investigation must move on.
You know, one of the people who was appointed to that committee and who the speaker rejected was Jim Jordan, someone who I'm sure you expected the minority leader to put on the committee. Let's remind the American people of an assessment of Jim Jordan delivered by the former Speaker of the House, Republican John Boehner.
Some of these members, I'm not quite sure what they're for. They're against everything. But I've never been able to determine what they're for.
You call some of these members political terrorists.
Oh, yeah. Jim Jordan especially.
I mean, that's pretty incredible to call Jim Jordan a political terrorist. And yet I'm sort of hard pressed to disagree with the former Republican speaker in that regard, especially given what happened today.
That's right. There's never been a structure that Jim Jordan didn't want to take a wrecking ball to. And this is just too fragile. Look, the way I see it right now, Jonathan, democracy is on life support. And this is very binary. Either you are a part of the gang that is trying to resurrect it, or you are a part of the gang that is trying to pull the plug. And Jim Jordan, Jim Banks, Kevin McCarthy, they are seeking to pull the plug. Why didn't he appoint John Katko? John Katko had, negotiated the independent bipartisan agreement with Speaker Pelosi, voted for that commission that McCarthy voted against. There were people that he could have appointed, but he just showed how unserious he was, how uncommitted he was, to finding the truth.